Hi everybody, welcome to Let's Go Fishing in the Winter. They said it will be fun, they said. We're fishing Roodekoppies, we're fishing off the deck here by our house. And it is chilly, it's like a cold. Today is the 17th of July 2024. Mias,
time for big fish.
Time for big fish. He dragged me here, he said they're on. So yes, and there's some nice fish coming out of Roodekoppies. From the beginning of May up until today, I know about 40 different 20 kilogram fish that's come out. And the amount of fish over 18 kilos, 40 pounders in the old terms, is just astonishing. Way more, way more.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's what we're targeting, but that's what we're hoping for. And we're just gonna fish, and it's exciting times in Roodekoppies. There's this anticipation in the air. Every time you take a rig out, it can happen. And it hasn't happened to me, not yet. It's going to. Yeah. So we're looking for that PB, trying to better that 19.2. You caught a big mirror the other day.
I got a 19.3 linear mirror, and the weekend we actually got a 19.1 was the biggest here from the deck.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So they're moving around. There's big fish in the Crocodile River Lake, but they're all moving around. And I just want to explain something quickly. Why are the big fish in the Crocodile River Lake in the beginning of winter? So the Crocodile River Lake, especially towards Dennekrane, Sudor and Kameeldrift, that lake is a bit shallower than the lake where we're fishing in, and the point where we're fishing in. So the Sterkstroom lake comes in from the left. That's the water from Buffels. The Crocodile River Lake comes in from Harties, and we basically on the point where they meet. And Roodekoppies Angling Resort is to the left of that. So why the fish are there in the beginning of winter? It's shallower. So in summertime the water gets so hot in that lake that the carp doesn't want to be there. There is carp there, but not the amount that there is in the deeper water. So the food and the substance and everything that they chow, the naturals, just gets time in summer to multiply. And as soon as that water temperature drops in the beginning, end of May, they just shoot up that lake and they go feed, and that's why the guys are catching them there. Lots of fish all over the dam though. We've seen some big fish down in the Sterkstroom lake, and I don't think it's long before the guys are going to start exploring that as well. But yeah, we're here to fish, and exciting times, Mias. The pop-ups are doing the thing.
Definitely.
There's a buzz in the air when you mentioned the Chop Chop BG pop-up. That pop-up has caught most of the big fish in Roodekoppies over the last month or so. We've had the winter bonanza. That bonanza was one on that pop-up. I think first, second and third came out on that pop-up. So if you haven't tried it, have a look at it. We'll show you how it looks. It's a two-tone pop-up, orange and yellow. It is doing the thing. It is really doing the thing. We decided when I came here, I didn't want to fish tonight. When I got here, I heard the first fish splash and I said, bugger that, David, we're going to fish tonight. Yes, kom ons ry stokke in.
I think it's interesting as well, you know, we haven't done a lot of nighttime sessions on camera as well, so you know, it's something new for you guys to look at as well, and we do catch fish at night sometimes, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long haul towards tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
Yes, but we did put some feed in the water.
I did.
Yeah, so we always, you know, on the bank angling side, I don't pre-feed. We don't pre-feed. I don't like it. I rock up like you guys rock up. But you know, for this session, we did put some feed in the water. Explain to the guys what we basically did.
Guys, you know me, wintertime boilies. I took the sweet corn boilies, and then also a new kid on the block that I'm playing with a little bit, that Low made for me.
Yeah, the honey boilie.
It's a honey boilie. So I like DKW in this dam, and it's basically just a DKW without fluoro, kind of a boilie. Okay. So I'm looking forward to that. The next couple of days I'm going to be fishing boilies really hard, 220 mils or snowman. But I just went out 2 days, every day, a little bit of 2-3 kilos of the boilies.
In certain spots though.
in certain specific spots that I went to go and select before the time.
How do you look for those spots? Do you look for something different on the bottom, certain depths? There's a lot of guys that hasn't fished Roodekoppies.
Alright, guys, yeah. There's different depths of water. For me, it goes about the structure. We're going to show you guys tomorrow morning. Get David on the boat as well. The first spot that we have is in 31 foot of water, where it just
10
comes
meters.
out of a channel, you know, going from 40, you know, 38, 30, 31, and then it flattens out. And right on that, because the fish is going to patrol on that channel there, and they're going to come up to that. It's a hard spot. And then about 50 meters to the right, we got a bit of a salty spot where it drops from 29 into 30. And in that salt, I also put in some boilies, pellets, and
Always where there's something on the ground. Something. I always say, if you look at National Geographic underwater footage, on the barren sandbanks, there's no fish.
No.
There might bonefish here and there, but as soon as you get something in the water, like a coral reef, plenty of fish. In fresh water, exactly the same. Yes, but we're dragging this out now. The fire is almost ready. We can't braai if there's no rods in the water.
he's braaiing tonight. I'm fishing.
Let's go fishing. Let's get the rods in. We're not going to do baits now. We're basically going to do pop-ups. As we catch the fish, we'll show that to you. We're going to get the rods in. See you in a bit. Come on. That is a Toyota boat. Definitely not a Isuzu boat.
Keep still. Yep. Bottom.
Double boilie. Yo. Hier is lekker. Yes. Voordat ons die vlees opzet. Before we put the meat on the grill, first fish away. This feels like a nice fish, but there's some head shakes on the end of this that I don't like. It feels catfishy. Yes. Yeah, just help with this backlet, please. We're fishing backlet for the hyacinth. There's lots of small hyacinths on Roodekoppies floating, and whenever they catch your line, it's quite a frustration. It feels a bit more carpy now, but yo, it was a lekker run. This is what we call a Roodekoppies 5-speed carp. Not a big fish, but boy, what a run. Ta-ta-da-da, thank you, Mias. First fish on the board. Like I said, not a big one. We're not even going to weigh this. I estimate this fish 12, maybe 12.5 kilos. Beautiful fish, healthy fish. I'm not going to say not what we want. We want lots of these, but we want a really big one in between. What a fish. Picked up on that chop BG pop-up. I thought it was the double boilie. I thought it was a barbel. Off to a flying start. Man, what a pleasure. Thanks, Mias. Next one's yours. We're going to put this baby back ASAP and catch another one. Thank you, darling. What a fish. Relax now. Time to release this beauty. Sorry that I said that you were a small one, but please go call your big sister. There she goes. Bye. What a pleasure. Mias, 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 mias. Yeah, on Miasie. On like Japan. Yes, this rod was in the water for maybe 15 minutes. So for the guys that think you need a lot of time to catch a big fish, in business and in property, there's a thing that they say: position, position, position. In carp fishing, exactly the same. Where you put your bait is sometimes more important than the physical bait that you're putting on. We've got a couple of key spots in the margins that we're fishing, and like I said, in for maybe 15 minutes. I just got back, just drank a cup of coffee, off it went. Where is the back lead? Bring it to me, I'll take it off. Here we go. For the people that don't know what a back lead is, so a back lead is a little sinker system with a sliding loop on it. So you basically hook it onto your line and you slide it off, and it takes your main line down to the bottom. There's a couple of reasons why we do this. So we fish braid, and we don't want the braid to be visible in the water. We want it on the bottom. If it's on the bottom, then the fish doesn't care about the braid. But if it hangs in the air, you create line pressure, and the fish don't come into your swim. Or one rod will keep on catching. Normally the rods on the end will keep on catching, and the middle rods won't catch. So the other reason is for the hyacinth, with a floating hyacinth. If you put that down, you put your back lead on, the hyacinth can go over your line, no matata. And then another reason is when you're fishing with a boat, you can come in and come over your lines. You don't pick up your line. Let me just check what's happening here. We're going to concentrate on this fish and land it. Mia says it came into the bay now. It kited way from the left where we picked it up, and it came into the bay, and it you have to wind to keep up now. Yeah, they do that, and when they do that, they know this bay so well, and they know the area where they live in so well. Normally they'll be heading for an obstacle, and when they do that, sometimes you just have to put a bit of extra pressure on it. And this fish is kiting for the fence, but it's already over the fence, so it looks like we're gonna win this one. Yes, the sun is heavy. Mias, this is my life. Into the wind, into the sun, that's where I have to look. That's going over to that side. It looks like a relatively small fish for what we catch in Roodekoppies. And it's nice when you can say a 10 kilo fish is a small fish. Come have a look at this fish. That's not a big fish. Once we put it on the unhooking mat, you'll get a real feel of it. But with bank angling gear, 10-pound line, small hook link, you're not going to land that fish, not in this spot. And that's why we don't allow people to do that here. I don't even do it. So the rest of Roodekoppies, welcome to do bank angling. It does work. Look at this. Right in the corner of the mouth. Solid hookup. Chop BG. And what I like about this, I wish you could smell it. The flavor is still there, well flavored. Available from Signature Series at Specimen Carp Essentials to all shops. If they haven't got it, make them order it. What a fish, Mias.
Look at that golden bar of goodness, guys. Two tone, two flavors. Needs no introduction. Yellow and orange chop BG, 15 minutes. What a beautiful fish.
Not the biggest carp, yes. But they're all pretty and they're all
smells the same.
Lovely. That's no Hollywood swim away. What I'm doing now is I checked the hook, and it wasn't like the hook was blunt, but it wasn't as sharp as when I took it out. Still sharp enough to catch a fish, but I'm just filing it, just getting it really needle sharp. And the right way to do that is to go down and pick up, go down, pick up. Don't do this with the hook. When it's really blunt and on its end, you can do that. So just file it lightly and needle sharp. It pings off my finger. That's how. Don't test it with your nail. If you do that, you damage the point again because your nail is too hard. Test it with the skin of your index finger. If you touch it and it hooks, then you know it's right. The rig we're using, I like to simplify things. This is a spinner rig, quarter crank with a spinner swivel on the hook with a bead stop, and then the spinner connector swivel at the end. And a lot of people use loops and booms. I like the loops and booms. I don't fish them that often. I like to simplify things. I'm a big fluorocarbon fan. So this is IQ, 20 pounds, also from Koda, and hook length about 20 to 22 centimeters. That's how I fish it. Simple, effective. That fluorocarbon is heavy enough to take this 15mm pop-up down. I don't need to put any tungsten putty or anything on there. But other fluorocarbons, you might have to do that. So just check it before you take it out. As simple as that. A free running rig that is semi-fixed, and that's how we roll. That's how I catch most of my fish in Roodekoppies, especially when fishing pop-ups.
Right guys, Lau is taking back that rod we caught the fish on just now, and when he comes back during the night, we had two pleasant surprises that's swimming around under the deck. We're going to show you guys two fish we caught through the night, and two beautiful fish. We're going to show them to you. Let's concentrate on getting that lines out again.
We're busy taking photos of a huge fish that I caught last night. 18.45. Just weighed off camera. Very close to a PB. Unfortunately for me, yes. Okay, that's fine. That fish just came off. 18.45, close to my PB. My PB is 19.2. But look at this beauty. Oh, here we go, Mias.
Dis maar so mooi vis hoor. En hy het 'n kilogram in die nag verloor, soos hom gisterand geweet het, né?
I'm glad we didn't. What a fish. Boys, girls, this is one of the fish we caught last night. We weighed the fish 18.45, and like Mia said, I think this fish lost a couple of 100 grams overnight. Might have been a new PB for me, unfortunately not. Bar of gold, Roodekoppies, chop BG. You lekker ding! What a fish! We took the pictures. This article is going into the SA Bass magazine. If you want to read more what we did, obviously you can get the magazine. You can get it online as well if you subscribe to that magazine. But this video will be out very, very soon. Let's get her back. Beast mode. We're going to show you the second one that we caught last night. This is Mias's fish. Also a really nice fish.
Another beautiful fish we caught last night. Not a 40. Mine is coming. We're going to catch it on film. Haha. Another beautiful fish, chop BG.
Tell me about your shoes.
Louis and Nita Brits from Rustenburg. Specimen Carp Essentials. They pumped me out with their latest range of don't let your feet get cold wear. Available in big foot sizes like a 14 and a 13.
Guys, I'm doing a hookbait change on the margin rod. Just to see if we change it up, if we can't get a bigger fish. Now Roodekoppies is renowned for the tigers. The fish know what a tiger nut is, and of late they've come to know what tutti frutti spice is. Tutti frutti is one of those flavors that's always worked in Roodekoppies. In my bank angling days we used to catch a lot of fish with it. I made this especially for Roodekoppies. So what you can do with it: skin your tiger, glug your boilies, glug your pop-ups. What we do is we take the chocolate, the double chocolate pop-ups, and we throw some of this over them. Let them dry, let it dry on, just keep it going, and it turns that bait into one super bait. Got a little bit of fluorescein in that deeper water. It comes through very well. I'm doing this in the shallow now, so let's see if it works. Got a fish on here. David and Mias went out to redo one of the deep rods. We couldn't understand why that rod didn't go, because there's so many fish in that area. Mias, did you break off on that one? Yeah. It got snagged. So yeah guys, when you know it's in the right area and it doesn't go, don't waste too much time. If you have that feeling something's wrong, go check out the rig. Sometimes you re-drop it and within a couple of minutes you're on with the fish. I've got a nice fish on here. Not a monster, margin rod again. Chop BG again. It keeps on producing. Ooh. I think this is that tiger. A tutti frutti spice. Hey, when now? This way. This way. Now you're waking up. Thank you. Boom chakalaka. There's the hookbait that just landed this fish. Skin tiger. I took a plain tiger out of the feed, out of the particle mix. Skinned it. Orange cider on top, and I just dipped it into that tutti frutti spice. I left it for about 15 to 20 minutes just to dry on a bit, then took it out. This rod was in the water for maybe an hour, hey Mias?
If that long.
Yeah, if that long. So not instant, but did go a bit quiet after this morning's mayhem, and yeah, he's a nice quality fish. I reckon around about 13 kilos. Proper Roodekoppies bar of gold. What a fish. Might be a bit heavier than I estimated. Proper condition, getting ready for the spawn. Feeding up in the shallows. Man, what a pleasure, what a privilege. Just do what we do. And while I'm on that, remember to subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell. And tell your friends all about what we do. Spread the good news. If you do what we do, exactly follow what we do, you will catch fish. If it works for us, it will work for you. And on that, I just want to say something. There's a lot of guys that they do buy the bait, and then they say, listen, but it doesn't work for us. But when you look at the rig system, it's totally wrong. So focus on what we do rig-wise as well. That will definitely catch you more fish. It is so important. I see a lot of specimen or bank angling guys that want to go over to specimen fishing, and the biggest cardinal, there's two cardinal mistakes that they make, and we'll get a bit to that a bit later in rig talk, but that they stack the herring with bait, and there's no movement for the hook, and then the other one is they fish with totally lighter sinkers. That's totally too light. And remember, in specimen fishing, your weight catches the fish. If your rig system is not good, it's not if it doesn't work, your rig mechanics, if that doesn't work, you can have the best bait, the best spot, you can pile in feed into the water, there can be 100 fish in your swim, you won't catch anything. We'll get to that a bit later. I'm going to take some quick photos and release this fish. Yes, that's a long rod. I think that fish is on, but check the rod tip. Take it, Frankie. Yep, that's on. Boom, chakalaga.
Yeah guys, finally one of the deeper rods went. This morning when we went to go and drop there was just a bunch of fish feeding, and I was surprised why I didn't go, but finally we got a fish. Look at that beautiful male. Not the biggest, but gave me a proper fight. The males just fight very hard, and always a blessing to catch a fish like this, guys. Chop BG. I'm going to put on 2 double boilies now, 220 mils. I want to catch a bigger fish now. But look at that. Get him back. He can go and do his job. Guys, yeah, we caught quite a few fish between the 12 and 15 kilo range, so I just want to change tactics a little bit. I want to put one rod in a bit of deeper water, maybe in the silt, change of color. And what I'm going to try now is just a plain white pop-up, and I dipped it in the mango. It's the mango 101, just without the colorant. And let's see if that will help us get a bigger fish. Alright guys, just to give you an idea where I'm going to, you guys will see on that chart that is a rock structure there, and it makes that rock, and there's another rock there. And as you see, I've got a mark there that says 8800. So that's one of my hot spots that I've been catching quite a lot of fish. It's almost as if the fish swims in between those two rocks. So there's a bit of a salty patch there. So I'll show you guys when I drop the rod now, you know, when I place it where it's hard, and then in that silt, and then I put it right on the edge of that silt, and you know, then there's a selection. It's got to be a route for the fish to either come in and swim through. There's a lot of food structure. They're going to feel safe, and hopefully there's a couple of fish that you can see there on the fish finder. I'm going to drive there now. You're going to see the rock pretty shortly now as I approach it. You can see there on the chart, there's the rock. You see there, coming up on that rock. There we are. Coming up, and then look at this. There's fish right on top of that rock, and it falls off on the other side. I want to turn left now towards there's another fish there. Just quickly look here, look at the back here. Look at the back, look at all the feeding bubbles here. Look at that big fish, look at that big fish there. Look at that. It's that fish, that bubbles that you guys are seeing now. We drove over it now. Look at that big fish, look at that. There's just fish everywhere. So it's right there on that spot that I like to drop. Look at that. This rod is not going to lie long, guys. Look at that. Nowhere else did we see any fish. When we got here now, we had all that fish there. Look at that. It's crazy. And just a small scoop of that. Don't want to spook the fish that's there. Right on top of that line. Okay guys, as you'll see now, there's a spot there that says boiled 2, and it's just a lot of fish that we saw on that spot this morning that was just eating in the silt. There's like a little silt patch there, so I just want to drive over it quickly and see it makes a lip, and then it's a hard lip. We picked up a fish just now on that hard lip, but there's a little drop off just behind it. There's a fish eating there. See the bubble trail. And so what I want to do now is I want to drop this rod just as it comes off that hard into the silt. So I'm going to start bouncing it. Have everything ready there. As soon as we approach that, you guys will see that. I want to try and show you the difference between the hard and the soft when I drop it. Okay, you guys will see there almost the lip is supposed to start just now. See that there, that lip is starting 31, and then it drops off. But I want to go a little bit more to the, and just make a loop around. And there was one spot that I missed it just now. It's so sensitive to go around and miss that spot. Let's just make a loop again, and then guys, as you can see, we're right on that lip there, that 29.30. So I'm going to drop the line here, and then I'm going to slowly drag it forward because I want to drop the line in that silt. So I'm going to drop that down here. Alright, so I want to show you guys, have a look at the rod tip quickly, guys. You can see there when I pick it up, boom, the hard. And then, there we go, in the salt. You can immediately feel it when it was there. Soft, soft, soft. So I'm be difficult now with this wave that we have. I want to take it back and show you guys again how we do it. The idea, what I want, guys, is to be right on the edge of that lip where it drops off, where the hard and the soft comes together. So around and right there. So we're right on top of the hard now. I'm going to slowly take it forward. Okay, it's going to be very hard under the boat now. Okay, so I need to go forward slowly. Okay, now if you guys have a look at the rod tip, guys. So where it went down, I'll pick it up, put it down. Doof, you can feel it is rock hard. Okay, so now what I do is I'm going to go a little bit forward. So where I see that lip dropping from the 29 to the 30 foot of water. And I'm just going to slowly bounce it. You see, guys, there it's starting to go down. Right in that silt. There we go, on that lip, guys. And then just going to sprinkle that. Just that one scoop, and let's see. A lot of times the bigger fish is on that lip and they're eating in that salt. The previous fish we caught wasn't a big fish, but the salt, just that little bit, 2-3 foot difference between the top of the ledge and the bottom of the ledge, hopefully produces us a bigger fish. Let's see. Alright, guys, we just came back with this rod, and there's a fish on that rod we dropped for you guys just now, that deep rod. There's a fish on, so
Come catch your fish. I don't want to get wet.
It's your fish.
You touch the rod, it's your fish. Come, it's your turn. I had to. It's your turn. That's how you do it when you do special.
You see, he's a good pig, mate. You see why he doesn't want to take it.
I'll leave him lots of wine. That's the one on top of that rock.
On top of that rock. We came there and there was just a lot of fish, and I told you it's not going to lie long.
Yeah.
So the difference was yesterday I dropped it right next to the rod in 25 foot. This morning they're on top of the rock on 22 foot. And look how quickly you get a bite. It's just that change of...
But also the value of a good fish finder.
Correct.
And we wake up, just don't put it in the same spot every time. Mias, after this fish we're going to sit down and have a bit of tackle talk and break down Roodekoppies for... There's a lot of new specimen anglers. We've got some questions on Facebook and on YouTube that we're going to answer. So, but first we're going to concentrate to get this fish out.
Alright, guys, this fish is probably another 700 meters out. We dropped it at 816 meters. So Lowe's decided to take his margin rod back out, and by the time he's back we'll probably be halfway with this one. Alright, guys, it's that deep rod that we dropped earlier that we showed you guys there by the rocks. And a screaming run, and it feels like a big fish. So we just wanna he's just glad he doesn't need to run in 780 meters. So we're just gonna close the distance and show you guys actually how we land a fish from the boat as well. Right, guys, as you would see, we landed that fish safely in the unhooking mat. There's water in, so fish will be fine. always have a spare lead in the boat and a spare rig. So while you're in the area and the fish has got water in the unhooking mat, you can quickly drop it and take it back. So we're going to go to the spot and drop quickly and see if we can catch another one for you guys. It's amazing that today they're just on top of the rock. It's like they're looking for something there, and they're not on top of at the bottom in the silt like yesterday. Alright guys, that deep rod again by the rock we showed you guys. Another amazing fish. Still gonna pick up a lot of weight in August. Gonna come catch you again. You're gonna weigh heavier. What a privilege. Salt, chop biji. And this is our last fish for the session, guys. We're gonna pack up, head home a bit, and gonna share some rigs with you guys as well. Let's get her back.
Mias, tackle talk. Let's unlock Roodekoppies for the guys that are not successful at Roodekoppies, because there's a lot of guys that fish Roodekoppies and they're very successful.
Yeah.
But there's not an in between. There's no guys catching just one or two fish. You're either very successful or you don't catch anything.
Correct.
And it's small things that makes a big difference. So we're gonna share some knowledge now. Let's start with rigs. 2 go-to rigs for Roodekoppies.
KD for sure.
KD, okay. There's a lot of people that don't know what a KD rig is. So guys, alright, if you go onto YouTube, type in how to tie a KD rig. There's so many videos on there. You can just check, or go to the Corda site, go to the Fox site. I like the Corda site. They show you in detail how to tie a KD rig. You can buy ready-made rigs. This is a KD rig. May I explain it to them, please?
Guys, basically what it is, it's a 25 or 35 pound boom section, and then you make a loop onto a crank, and automatically I like the KD for that. So basically what will happen is your rig's gonna stand like that. So you can see that's a snowman presentation. I like to fish a double 20mm or 2 16mm boilies bottom bait on that as well. You can fish it as a snowman like that. And the reason why I like it, guys, is especially if you're targeting the bigger fish, is that when the fish picks that up, look at where that hook points to, and he can turn any direction that he's going to, and he's always going to swivel, and that's into that bottom mouth,
into the lip. Yeah. The thing I like of a KD rig, I just get better hookups. I'm a big fan when I'm fishing for smaller fish of a blowback rig, but when it comes to the bigger fish, KD rig. Yes, just pick it up. I just want to show the people something. Pick it up at the bottom end. Now let it hang. So you guys can see there's a big gap between the hook and the bait. So when you pick it up like that, when you have it hanging horizontally, that's basically the gap that you have to look at. Don't look at this gap when it hangs like that. If this gap on a KD rig with a big bait like this is less than 2 centimeters, you're going to lose your fish. There must be space for this hook to do its job. So just pull it out there. So when you have it like this, when you take the hook like that and you turn it like that, there's about 1 centimeter between the bait and the top of the hook. If that bait sits there touching that hook, I guarantee you're going to get the bite, but you're going to land maybe 3 out of 10 fish. Make it bigger. When you think it's too big, that's the right distance. Alright, it looks long, but it's actually not long. Remember this, when you tie a KD rig, make sure, especially for bigger fish, make sure there's enough space. With the winter bonanza that we just went through, it's so frustrating because people phone you, they tell you they're coming to fish, and you give them all the bait, you give them all the feed that they need to buy, and they rock up at Roodekoppies and they're ready to fish, and they've got everything. They've got the right traces, but when that bait goes onto that trace, they'll string up a couple of mealies onto that trace, 4, 5, 6 tigers, and there's just no way that rig is going to work. There's no way for that hook mechanics to kick in, and you know where the hook is going to do its job. Mia's just quickly tied on a tiger there with a small pop-up. Just show them. This is just another presentation that you can do on the KD. Let it lie down. So that's basically how it's going to sit. That's how it's going to sit. When that fish takes it in, when that fish takes it in, you've got a lead that's basically fixed. Mia's pick it up, check where the hook point goes, and boom, in the bottom lip. And you're gonna take that hook out. That fish is not gonna shake it out. So KD rig, okay, my go-to rig, spinner rig, spinner rig. A lot of people call it a Ronnie rig. So what is a spinner rig? A spinner rig is basically, I must actually say, a simplified spinner rig. Excuse my hands, I touched the bottom of the pot where the mealies was in. So that's basically a spinner rig. I've got a 20 pound quarter IQ, fluorocarbon, spinner rig swivel, the connecting swivel. I shrinked it, then my spinner swivel, the bait swivel on the hook with a stopper. Quarter crank number 4, that's the hook for me. You can use a curve shank as well. Length of this rig, 18 to 20 centimeters. That's on the hard bottom. If you go into the silt, all you do is make it a 25 to a 30 centimeter length, and you're going to catch fish with that. That's as easy as that. The way to put a pop-up onto a spinner rig is very easy. I've got a piece of line, monofilament. I like to use monofilament. A lot of guys, it goes through the spinners, through the bait swivel. A lot of guys use bait floss. I think it's totally unnecessary. Pop up onto a baiting needle, pull the line through the baiting, through the pop-up, and all you do is push the pop-up onto the first eye of the swivel. You can either tie a bait stopper in there. I'll just nip that off. Take a lighter, burn it, dab it down, and that's as easy as that. We're just going to get the lighter to quickly do that. David, cameraman. What shall we do without David, Miels? I can't see this flame. I've burned my fingers. Ow! That's hot. I don't like that lighter. And there we go. As easy as that. You can put that thing in the deep water. You can put it in the shallows. Big or small, we catch them all. The Chop Chop BG pop-up, the one that's been working so well. I think this is going to work all year round, Miels.
I think so. It's just the color and the flavor this year.
Yeah. The one we put on here, this pink and white one, is the shellfish. That's a winter bait.
Last week with that cold front, we caught a couple on it when it was really cold. The temperatures, it worked again.
Yeah. So that's rig-wise, Miels. Okay. Next thing to unlock Roodekoppies. When it comes to feed, I've had it this morning again. Quickly went out to set some friends up, and the guys where they setting up was busy packing up, and they said we caught nothing. What's happening? And I didn't even want to tell them how much fish we had. They've been here for 3 days. We've been here for less than 24 hours, and we've had a lot of fish.
Yeah.
So for me personally, less is more. But sometimes if you fish the deeper water, you need to put in a bit more. But if you come for a 2 to 3 day session at Roodekoppies, what I will typically do is, number one, suss out where you're going to fish. You have to do proper fish finding. We've got a segment in this program as soon as you see something different on the bottom in Roodekoppies, that's where you're going to fish. Either a little drop, a rock, tree stump. There's in certain places you can literally see where the silt starts. You've got a hard bottom and it looks like a little step, but you see the step, but it still goes deeper. That's the silt. And if you bounce the bottom with a big weight like this on your rod before you put your hook bait on, you'll feel it's hard, poop, soft. And that's the line you need to fish. On the hard, less is more. A little bit of feed, put your hook bait straight into that. You're gonna just leave it. You're going to catch a fish. One thing that I see a lot of people make mistakes, and it's especially people coming from the bank angling side of it, my friends. Weight. They rock up here with a M1.5, 25 gram weight, 30 gram weight. Boys, just too light. You need to have a proper weight system. Free running rig, bolt rig. I personally think for the beginners, the bolt rig system is the best. You're going to lose a couple of leads in the beginning, but that is the best. You need a heavy weight. I will not fish Roodekoppies with a lighter weight than maybe a 4 ounce. And the further you go, the heavier that weight needs to be. If you go beyond 200 meters, 6 ounce, that's it. Make sure the lead drops when you catch that fish, especially if you're fishing in an area where there's snags. Rick-wise, is there something you want to add to that, Mias?
Now, I think what the guys must just do as well, sometimes the guys are not going to fish a quarter crank, for instance, and then they fish someone else's hook. And the hook is not the same weight as what the crank would be, for instance, guys. So always when you do that, put your bait in the water before you take it out and see what that does. If your bait's going to stand up like that, then you know you've got a problem. Then you need to put on a piece of tungsten putty or something, especially on the Ronnie rig. I'm just using this as an example now, but you know, you would want that basically to be there and your bait just like that. But if it picks that rig up like that, you have to put on a putty onto that spinner rig, or a little split shot. So check that bait before you take it out if you're not using that specific
especially
hook.
If you're fishing just a pop-up. That's very important. I see that as well. That does happen a lot of the times. So basically, lead system wise, two lead systems. Inline, there's not a lot that you can do wrong with the inline rig, and then bolt rig. Those are the two that I'll use. We've got a free running system. We'll break that down in a later episode, show you how it works. You lose less weight, but there is a way to fish that as well. So Mias, what's next? I think let's finish Roodekoppies and then we'll go to products. I've developed a particle mix, and we use a lot of particle mix out of the bag, just like you guys buy it. We like to mix the melee mix and the particle mix, especially if you're fishing the deeper water. You can mix the two. You just basically stretch the particle mix. There's a lot of goodness in that particle mix. When you're fishing the shallows, I won't put the melee mix. I won't add the melee mix to that. All right. Then what we do, we add a lot of hemp and a bit of extra tigers with that. And if I say a lot of hemp, I mean a lot of hemp. I'll take 5 kilos of hemp and maybe 500 grams of bigger tigers to add into that. And that's that. You don't need anything else. You don't need anything else. If you do that, you're going to be fine. You're going to catch a lot of fish. If you're fishing that deep water on arrival, maybe take 2 bags, take an area of 20 by 10, spread it over that area. Don't put too much in one place. Create a big mat and rod a mousetrap within that mat, but be patient. Make sure when you put that hook bait down, you put it down right. If you fish that KD rig, make sure it didn't tangle. Rather do it slowly and get it down, and you're going to be sure it's fine. Just one other thing before we go on to that. There is 2 other things that you can use for Roodekoppies as well. So we've got a soft particle mix, a dry soft particle mix. Basically what you do with this, you soak it for 24 hours, cook it for 20 minutes, and it's good to go. that's you can use that for Roodekoppies as well. Everything that the fish like is in here, but this will go into the deep water. Then we've got a hard particle mix, soak for 24 hours, cook for 2 hours, tigers, mealies and hemp. That's basically what that is. Alright, with the scarcity of tigers, make sure you get some of that. That's going to catch you a lot of fish when you come to Roodekoppies. You can add the level 5 to that.
Yeah. The bags is already, you already got some goodness of the level 5 in, guys, as well. When you open those bags, you'll understand why the fish stand in line for it. That's definitely, add that hemp, add that little bit more tigers. I like to add a lot of the finer stuff. You know, I've got the crusher. Sometimes I'll crush the feed as well, but the fish will also tell you it's no use you put out 5 of these bags to try and catch one fish. You know, if you continuously keeps on catching fish at that spot, you can gradually, as your session progress, add more and more and more, make your mouse drops a little bit bigger, for instance, but keep it simple.
The fish are just going to become more.
Yeah. And then boilie, guys, winter, summer, I like the boilies. We're going to get to that just now, but I like to take the sweet corn boilies or the pineapple banana boilies, put them through the crusher. Then I've got the boilie crush there. I'll cut a couple in half, different sizes, the 16 and the 20, and we've seen on a lot of occasions that your bigger fish just tend to come out from a spot that we've introduced the boilies.
Yeah, and what we like to do with the boilies as well, sometimes we'll take a boilie stick and pipe out some boilies into the bay, and especially at night time when the coots can't see it, and then cast a pop-up onto that, and it always produces a fish or two.
Yeah.
Mias, let's talk boilies. You're the boilie man, but there's a new kid on the block with the boilies. I say new kid, it came out about 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
But a lot of people still don't know about it.
Yeah, guys, we did a session at Donaldson. And Donaldson do like a bit of a Scopex and krill, so we made a Scopex and krill. Worked very, very well. We've sent it to a couple of guys, some in Potchefstroom, Potchefstroom, the Scopex and krill, Cocosel have been doing well, but the new kid definitely that's catching fish all over, a lot of the lakes in Johannesburg as well. There's one of our clients in the Orange River as well that's using that. It's a stunning Scopex and krill boilie. The color is perfect. It's a very natural brownish color. Guys, you're going to catch fish with it.
The other boilies have been on the market for a while now. So bloodworm is doing really well.
Yeah,
they're all doing well. They're all doing well. So we've got the bloodworm, we've got sweet corn and hemp, we've got the pineapple. I see the pineapple is not here.
Pineapple banana is not here.
Not here, yeah. Oh, is it here? Then the sweet corn and hemp is not here. Then we've got, they're the same color. So
correct,
and then we've got the exotic fruit, which is really exotic, and then the last one is the Cocosel. Nice coconut flavor. What we did with the boilies is we put 20 mils and 16 mils in one bag. Yeah. It just makes it a lot easier. So we've got hookbait tubs as well, exactly the same, both sizes in hookbait tubs. So if your shops hasn't got that, please ask for it. For the shop owners, it is available, and that, you know, there's a lot of guys that only want hookbaits, and then they don't have to buy a kilo to get a couple of hookbaits. And they've got that. Mias, and then there's one other thing that we're going to start doing soon. If there's somebody that wants boilies, say for instance you want a chop and garlic boilie or a garlic and krill boilie, go to your nearest shop, ask them to contact us. We'll do it through the shop. We can't supply straight to the public, unfortunately not. We need the shops. We need to keep the system going. Ask the shop to contact us. We'll give them a price, minimum of 10 kilos, that we're going to do that way. So just to make it worth our while, and worth the shop's while, and you're going to have enough boilies to fish a proper session or two with that. So we're going to start doing that as well, and it's just something that I think is going to put us a level up again. So
I hope so. You know, a lot of guys have asked for specific boilies, and you can't manufacture a range specifically for that. And I think what's very important, a lot of the guys asked me, you know, about is it the same old recipes? Bloodworm, guys, especially the exotic fruit, nothing has changed. We went back to the old recipes of
that's
Mark.
how it is.
Everything 100% the same, and we just bettered it with some of like his flavors as well. So the original recipes of those things are still the same.
I must say the carp was spoiled with what's in those boilies.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of other things that I just want to show you guys. We've been talking a lot lately of the Chop Chop BG. So in bank angling, we've got a Chop Chop BG dip, concentrated dip, that you can use to flavor a pop-up. You can dip a tiger into that. There is a bit of fluorescein in here. I've had some guys that has had a lot of success, especially Roodekoppies, Harties with this. They're catching some nice fish. Chop Chop, of course, if it doesn't look like this, if it's not in a signature series bottle, it's a fake. That's how it is. I don't care who says what. This is my original recipe. Never shared it with anybody. And if you want to fish Chop Chop, if you're not catching fish with another Chop Chop, that's one of the reasons you're not doing it like we're doing it. And then the last one, Tutti Frutti Spice. Yeah. Especially for Roodekoppies. We used it in this program. This flavor used in conjunction with either a pop-up. What we do, we take our double chocolate pop-ups and we throw some Tutti Frutti Spice over it and just shake it. It eventually dries on, forms a little layer around the pop-up, and you throw in again and again and again. Do it 3-4 times and you've got an awesome hook bait. So the Tutti Frutti Spice is very fruity, very spicy. It turns that white pop-up to a nice orange pop-up, but it does give off a little bit of fluoro, and it's something that is catching a lot of fish in Roodekoppies. It will work other places as well. I can't think that it won't work in Harties. Everything that works in Harties works in Roodekoppies, and what works in Roodekoppies will work in Harties.
Correct.
So we've got a trade show one of these days for the shops out there. We're launching a couple of new products. Exciting stuff. Don't want to say too much about that now. Our hookbait tigers back in stock. Tigers back in stock at Signature Series, and some exciting things on the horizon. Mias, you gotta go hunt. I gotta go mix mooties.
Yeah, back to the office, the real office for me now.
Mias has got some clients that's coming over to hunt. You're gonna make some DVDs there as well.
Correct, yeah.
Don't teach David the wrong things.
I'll try.
Okay, make him shoot.
We'll keep the mice out of it.
Awesome stuff. Thanks guys, thanks for watching. I know it's
and go and subscribe guys. Yeah, for free.
It was a long program. Yeah, it was a long program, but I hope we're gonna help some people that fishes Roodekoppies. Super stuff. See you guys again.